Hi, friend. Welcome back. So, today I want to talk about something that many people have challenges with. And there are two popular ways that you can pay off debt. So, one way is called the debt snowball. And what does that mean? It means paying off the smallest balance first, right? And we're going to dive into that. The second method is the debt avalanche, and that is the highest interest first. So let's go back to the debt snowball, paying the smallest balance first. So, as an example, if you have, say, 5 credit cards and they range in from smallest to largest. Maybe you have $100 balance on one. Maybe the second one has $350. Maybe the third one has about $500. Fourth, let's say 1,000, and then say the fifth one has a balance of $5,000. You would start paying off under the debt snowball method. You would start with the card with the $100 balance first. And then once that card is paid off, that amount that you used to pay on a monthly basis to that card, you would now apply that to that second lowest card. So we said 100, I think we said 350, 500, 1,000, and then 5,000, right? So you've paid off the card with $100 balance. Now you have 4 cards. The lowest one now being 350, then 500, then 1,000, then 5,000, right? So that amount that you used to pay on that card for $100, now you roll that and add that to the payment that you used to make on the card that had the $350 balance. So as an example, if your monthly payment on the second card, second lowest card, was $50 a month, and you used to pay $20 per month on that smaller card, now you pay 50 plus 20. So now you're paying $70 per month on that second card. Now, when you pay off that one for $350, now you were paying $70. So you move to the card that's $500 balance. And if that card, your monthly payment was, say, I don't know, $80, now you add to that $80 50 plus 70, right? So now you've increased that to $150 per month on that card. So you would continue the effect that way, and that is a good strategy to pay off your debt. If you are in debt and you need to clear it off, that is a good strategy instead of just paying the minimum on each time. Continue to pay all the cards. Never, if you have several cards outstanding, never just pay off one card and leave the other ones accruing, because we talked about interest, and we're going to do another video where we dive into how that interest can affect you long term on credit, right? So always pay, if it's the minimum that you can afford, always continue to pay the minimum on all your debt, and then use the strategy, the snowball debt snowball effect, to pay off the smallest and continue that way, and apply that. Once that card is done, apply that amount to that next card so that you could increase the amount that you ultimately pay on that larger balance, and you'll be able to pay it off sooner. Now, the other one is the debt avalanche. And this is where you're focusing on the highest interest debt first, right? So if you have cards, and if you look at your credit cards nowadays, a lot of them have, different varying interest rates, but some could be as high as 30%. So if you have cards that are ranging from 10% to, say, 30%, and you're in a lot of debt, start with the higher interest balance first. Now, I have another video that we're going to dive into why you want to focus on those higher interest cards first. But just imagine if you have a card that has a 30% interest rate, right? And you have other cards that have smaller interest rate or lower interest rate. If you focus on the card that has the highest interest rate, then you ultimately start chipping away at that credit balance, because if the amount that you owe on that card, that interest compounds each month, and that will keep you in debt much longer. So if you're focusing on using the debt avalanche effect, focus on the highest credit first. If you're using the debt snowball effect, focus on the smaller balance first, right? So interest versus outstanding balance. So the key takeaway here is to choose the method that keeps you consistent. Because once you apply these methods, the important thing is to remain consistent, because you don't want to start this process and not continue it through. So it's important to stay consistent, continue to pay what you can afford. So the plans are there. You just have to select which one makes the most sense for you and your family. So decide whether it's the snowball or the avalanche and continue. So save this comparison, right? If you're in a space where you're trying to eliminate debt or lower debt, and you need to start a plan somewhere, save this for later. And you may have friends or family who are having the same struggle that you're in. Share this with them, because it could possibly help them get out of debt. And continue to follow for more practical tips. I also created a tool called the Paychecks to Purpose budgeting tool. It's available on my website at fuchsiafinancials.com. And if you're in a space where you're trying to get out of debt, build an organized strategy, try this tool. It could possibly help you organize and get to that next step where you're out of debt, debt free, and you're building towards a better financial future. Please stay tuned. Thank you for joining today, and I hope to see you again next time right here. Bye.